Let's talk some sports, baby. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a blessed Sunday, as I am. And as always, I would like for you to please subscribe, like, and comment to this channel if you like what you hear. The link to the podcast is in the description. And now that we got all that out the way, let's talk some recaps of some sports, baby. I'm gonna keep it short, sweet, and to the point, cause I don't like to hold you people up. I know y'all out enjoying your Sundays, so let's get to it. first, first, I like to talk about the UFC event. Last night we had UFC 248 go down. The main event was a middleweight title fight between the champ Israel Adesanya versus the number 3 ranked middleweight contender Yoel Romero. For those of you that didn't see the fight, let me just tell you this. It did not live up to the hype for multiple reasons. I think one of the big reasons was the co-main event, which I'm going to get into a little later. It was fantastic. It was a slugfest. It was everything that you would pay your money to watch for a pay-per-view event. But the main event did not live up to what we thought it was going to live up to. And I wouldn't necessarily say it's because of the champ Israel Adesanya, simply because he took what was given to him. Yoel Romero, I heard Dana White say this on a number of occasions. For a guy that probably won't get another title shot in his career because of his age and where he's at, he came out pretty lackluster to say the least. In the first round, he kind of just stood there. He held his guard up in such a fashion like this, and he just like kept coming forward, but he wasn't moving. He wasn't swinging or anything. I thought that was kind of odd. With that said, I felt like he did not fully capitalize on the opportunity. With that, Asanya stayed on the outside, peppered him with plenty of kicks. I mean, was just chewing up his leg. That leg was different colors by the time the fight was over his left leg. I'm very surprised he was able to walk out on his own power. Asanya did what he was supposed to do as the champ. You take what's given to you. If you can't dance, if you don't have a dance partner, Floyd Mayweather said that. So, and with that said, he pretty much he took care of business. He did win he retained his title and he won the fight by unanimous decision. I think that was rightfully the right decision. Yoel, he just didn't get it done. I don't know what the problem was. I don't know if he was scared of Asanya's firepower, which he should be. I'm not mad at that. But at the end of the day, when you probably on your last leg of getting a title fight, a title chance, you got to do more than that. And that was not it. So yeah, that was a bit of a snooze fest in the main event. And if you didn't hear me, like I said, Asanya did win on a unanimous decision. Good fight for him. It was like now we're set up for the Adesanya versus Pasto Costa. Pascal Costa, I think is his name. It seemed like to be the next fight to be made in the middleweight division. If you actually watch the fight and watch the post-fight press conference, Dana White, he alluded to that. He also alluded that Costa was going crazy in the crowd as that fight was getting, the decision was coming in. He was getting into it. It looked like with Romero. But, that guy's he's a firecracker. And if that fight does happen next, that fight would definitely have more fireworks than this one had last night. Because Costa is a guy that likes to come forward, and Asanya has his best performances against fighters that come forward with him, not standing back waiting on the action. So that looks like the next fight that'll be made in the middleweight division. So I'm excited about that. Can't wait for Pasta to get cleared from his medical personnel. Once they clear him, Dana White said that fight is going to be green lighted. All right, and then let's get to the fight that shocked many, and that was a damn good fight, I must say so myself. And that was the co-main event, the women's strawweight championship between the champ Zhang Weili and the fourth-ranked strawweight contender Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Look, listen. If you watched this fight last night, you know what I'm about to say. It was a hell of a fight, possibly the greatest women's fight of all time. It was fantastic. It was just a very, very good fight. I like what I saw, and I wouldn't be mad if they ran it back. Now, a lot of people ask the question, if Jen Chaychek had a won, would it have been a robbery? I don't think it would have been a robbery either way. I think it was a very close fight. That's why Wiley won by split decision. And I think at the end of the day, the reason she won was because of her power. Her power ended up being the deciding factor. And, you know, she got some power, folks. If you don't know about this fighter, you might want to go on YouTube or, go do some research. But she's the real deal. Zhang Weili is the real deal. She's probably the next star up and coming right now. Behind Adesanya and McGregor, she probably the one that's coming right now. She got the goods, man. She got the goods, and I thought Joanna came in. She handled herself well. She showed her veteran savviness. She dragged her to the championship rounds, which was round 4 and 5. But Wiley, she was here. She was here to fight, and it was a fight, very good bloodbath. Both of these women look very different from the way they look coming into the octagon, and it gave the crowd what they wanted. So that's why I felt like when we got to the main event was kind of fighting an uphill battle simply because the co-main event was such a fireworks show, such a slugfest, such the ultimate fighting championship embodiment that when we got to the main event, it was easy to call it a snooze fest because those guys just wasn't giving us the action that we wanted to see. I would say that down the road, we should see a rematch of this fight if it's not the very next fight. I know both of these women couldn't even do a press conference after the fight because they went straight to the hospital to heal up and they got their thing together. So once they heal up, once they get themselves back in the game, I will foresee, this fight being made again. Like Dana White said, they get cleared by the doctors. He has no problem greenlighting this. And me as a fan, I have no problem seeing this fight again because that was fantastic. And I have to rate this 1 or 2 as far as all-time greatest women fights that I've seen. It was fantastic. Shouts out to both of those competitors. Thank you very much. They left it all on the line. I loved every bit of it. All right. Let me go ahead and transition over to a little boxing. Last night we had a boxing card, PBC, Premier Boxing Championship fighting last night. They had a heavyweight fight card in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. That was headlined by Adam Babyface Kawanowski and Robert Norad Nightmare Helinsky. That fight was on PBC, like I said, on Fox, in which I was a little surprised with the result of the fight, but Helinsky, he knocked Kawanowski out in the 4th round, and I was very surprised. Kawanowski, Brooklyn native, he got a big following in Brooklyn. He usually fight well in front of his fans, but last night he just didn't get the job done. He didn't move his head enough, and Helinsky was he did what he was supposed to do. He went in there. He handled him. He was the longer fighter. He looked to be the more physical fit fighter out of the two, and he took care of business and he shocked the world again. And I just want to tell people this about PBC. For people that say, well, the outcome of most boxing matches before it happened, well, you ain't been watching the PBC lately because the PBC been having upsets left and right. It started back with J. Rock Williams. He gets upset. Then last week, we seen Deontay Wilder get upset. Now this week, we see Konoski get upset. Listen, these fights do not have the outcome made before it's done. And the PBC is doing a real good job of giving fighters with lesser fanfare, lesser name, giving them a shot on the big-time stage. And these fighters are taking that chance, and they're making a name for themselves. And I love it. I love it. I hope the PBC keeps that going. I think it's beautiful. And I love what we see with the PBC. So, with the knockout last night, now Helinsky is now the mandatory for the WBA title. We all know the WBA champion is Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua right now is looking to try to get that unification fight with Tyson Fury. If not, he'll be fighting someone else. I want to say, I know he has a fight penciled in right now. So probably after that fight, we'll see. But this is definitely a fight that I think Helinski, he's gonna have to take another fight with a more higher profile fighter before he can really like rant and rave about it. I mean, he is the mandatory, so he does get some skin in the game for that. But we know how boxing go. You're gonna have to do a little more than that to actually get a guy like Anthony Joshua to the ring. Ticket sales, a following, a better resume, something along that line, and then we'll see them get it on. Outside of the boxing ring last night, we had some XFL action that went on yesterday with the Houston Roughnecks defeating the Seattle Dragons 32-23. And that was the earlier game. And then the later game, we had the New York Guardians defeat the Dallas Renegades 30-12. So, there's just a little recap for the XFL action. The highlighted NBA game last night was the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Golden State Warriors, in which the Warriors won 118-114. The high scores for that game was, for the Warriors, it was Damian Lee with 24 points, and for the 76ers, it was Tobias Harris with 24 points. Just to hit on a little action that's going to go down today, the NBA highlighted game is going to be the Battle of LA, which is the Clippers versus the Lakers. That game is going to be on ABC at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then for the XFL, we got the St. Louis Battlehawks versus the DC Defenders. That game is going to be on FS1 at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we got the Tampa Vipers versus the LA Wildcats. That's going to be on ESPN at 9 p.m. Eastern. I will say that game is coming on later than usual, probably because of scheduling. Usually these games are played at 2 and 5 on Saturday, and then on Sunday usually it's around like 3 and 6 or so. But today it's gonna be 3 and 9. So take that for what it's worth. If you're interested in the XFL action, there you go. All right, like I said, I want to keep it short and sweet. And as far as the recap, that's all I got. That's a wrap for today. Don't forget to catch my sports podcast, A Drink of Wisdom, with me and my sports partners, Jay Wise and Cody Ward. We usually do that show on Wednesdays and Fridays. New episodes are usually out around 11 p.m. Eastern. So that's usually when we're done recording and we upload it to YouTube and all that good stuff. So make sure you give us a good follow, subscribe, give us a good ear listening. And please, if you could comment and tell us things we can do better, that will help our product. Please don't get on there talking reckless and rude, because I wouldn't do it to you, so I ask you don't do it to me. However, comments are welcome, because we always need to listen to what other people got to say just to make our product better. Okay, so with that said, I'm out. I hope everybody enjoy the rest of their Sunday. And you know what we're going to do. We're going to holler at you until next time, baby.